Laura Shepard Show. Just want to ask people to support the show by going to patreon.com/The Laura Shepard Show and putting in a little monthly pledge. This is the way you support community. I'm thinking that's great. You can also listen to it as a podcast on Stitcher and iTunes and all those places, and please share with your friends. Okay, enough business. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Barefoot, that's important at this time of year for me. We've got some fine folks here. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen, Lord, we knew it would. Oh yeah, well things will change and leaves will fall and it will rain. Transformed before your eyes, no time for chasing. Why me? Why'd that happen to me? Oh, you never know just how life is gonna go. So you jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Whoa, yeah, you gotta aim high and go for your pie in the sky. Go ahead, trust yourself, everything will right itself. Oh yeah, well life's a stream, so go ahead now, follow your dream. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Alright everybody, let's do this together. Ready? Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Alright, does anybody out there believe that something good could happen? Oh my goodness, we have three fabulous guests today. We have Deb, who's going to play music. We have Miss P, who's going to tell us about feng shui. And we have Catalina, who's going to tell us about the Everyday Hero Project. And so we're all going to learn something and enjoy our next hour. Be prepared to be happy and enjoy. Deb, would you join me on the stage? I'm delighted to have you. Yay! Hi, Deb. Thank you so much for coming. So, Deb Ruby. Deb Ruby, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? I love your intro song, it's really sweet.
Oh yeah, it's like it works for all. If you have any sort of trauma or upset going on in your life and your mind, you just start singing that song and you can only think about one thing at a time. People think you can multitask, but you can't. You can only think about one thing at a time. Now you can switch between things if you want, but if you find yourself thinking about something you're not interested in thinking about because it's making you feel bad, you start singing that song and you immediately feel better. That has been my experience.
I might use that.
It works. And there's a video too. There's a beautiful music video that goes with it.
Cool.
Anyways, so you were sent to us by the Wandering Hours. We had some guests here called the Wandering Hours, and they suggested that you would be a fabulous guest.
Oh, that's very nice.
So, Deb, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started in this
music thing?
Well,
I always loved to sing ever since I was a little girl, and I took piano for a couple of years when I was younger. And then about, 2010 was a big year of transition for me. I just had like a lot of things going on. I was out of a long relationship. I lost my job, and I just kind of felt a little lost. And I just got this crazy idea to pick up a guitar and learn how to play. And I just had this idea that singing would be very healing for me at that time in my life.
What gave you that idea?
I just had a hunch.
You just had a hunch. You read something about it, or you just...
Well, like I said, I sang since I was little, and I sang in a high school chorus, and I sang with a women's chorus when I was like 30-something. So I had some experience with like how singing makes you feel really good, and it's just amazing.
Yeah,
music is amazing.
I think they hook people's brains up, and people do in fact relax. You know, singing is I don't have the statistics. Somebody look up the statistics back to us on that. But it's true that singing does make you feel better.
Yeah, it's like super healing. So yeah, I got a guitar and just spent some time learning it and fell in love, basically. So yeah, and I've just been developing it. My girlfriend and I traveled for 5 years from 2012 until about a year and a half ago. We traveled all around the world, and in that time I learned to just become very dedicated to music, and I was writing a lot about what I was going through. Like all of a sudden I had new eyes, and I was very reflective at the time, and we had given up about 90% of our possessions, so that had a big impact too. So it was like a backpack, a guitar. It was my life became very simple.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just started writing. So at that time, other than traveling and everything that came with that, I was just becoming more, like my relationship to music was becoming deep. So that's kind of like the short story about it, you know. And then I came back here a year and a half ago, and I've just been exploring the community and getting out there and writing more, and it's been awesome. It's been really fun.
Well, would you like to sing us a song?
I would love to.
Okay, I'm going to get out of the way and let you
Okay.
sing. Now you
Should I
sing
sit
out.
here? Is this
If
a
you want
better-
to sing, sit there in the middle and sing us a
Okay.
song.
Yeah, let's sit in the middle. Okay. This song is called Chartreuse. You've got some thinking to do. Will you stay or go? Your bucket wishes started to overflow, and your dreams stand tall, flash like a neon sign. Choices of today hang on a fragile line. See, I have to choose. Sometimes yellow, sometimes blue. And I know how the old road may seem paper thin. Honey, those pretty cones of yours, oh, they are the monsters in. And your eyes look north while your heart heads south. You've walked this terrain before, chasing the shadows around. Say I have the truth. Sometimes yellow, sometimes blue. And there's a golden muse that hangs from a diamond sky. I know it all too well. Gold muse that hangs from a diamond sky, and I know you know it too. But what a way to do. Oh, see how it shimmers.
Yay!
Yay.
So where did you write that song?
I don't remember the place, but it was during my travels that I wrote that. Oh no, I know, now I remember, in Montreal actually. It was about my 3rd year and traveling. And just, I was getting a lot of messages from people being like, oh wow, your life seems so cool and this and that, and I wish I can do it, and a lot of like, I wish. And I was like, it was nice to get the accolades, but I felt like people didn't get that it took a lot of work to get where we were, and like, we thought we were just going to travel for a year. It wound up being 5, and that wasn't because we're like loaded or anything. We just became resourceful and trusting. And,
trusting. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, big trust in ourselves and in the world, actually. Like trusting other people and just trusting ourselves to make the right decision and things like that. So yeah, trust.
And did that get easier to trust?
Totally. Yeah, because at first it wasn't very easy. It wasn't easy at all. Yeah.
And fabulous thing. What are some of the countries you went to?
So I mentioned Montreal, so it's Canada, Scotland, Portugal, Germany, Mexico, Ecuador, Costa Rica.
And wait a minute, you're to tell me that there were trustworthy people in all of those places?
Can you believe it?
No, I mean, of course I can believe it. It is true that most people are lovely and trustworthy, or we'd all be dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of my theory on the subject.
It's so true, yeah. People are kind, and I mean, one of my favorite things, other than seeing sights and stuff, is I really love to just witness how people were living. People were just living simply, doing their thing, living their lives, and the majority of people were super kind, friendly, curious who we were, you know, and we were the same towards them. I mean, it was really cool. And even when there were language issues, or barriers rather, you know, you were still able to communicate through, I don't know, a smile, I guess. It sounds kind of corny, but it was true.
All right, play us one more song.
Okay.
Now, we'd like to hear one more song.
All right.
Wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll play you a song that I wrote when I came back to the States, which was a huge adjustment. And at times I just wanted to run away. So this song's called Moving to Spain, which is about that time that I was in. She's too bored to celebrate. He arrives a little too late. Is the party here anymore? I feel the need to escape. I'm going to Thailand. I'm moving to Spain. Gonna find that no-name highway. Gonna let it hold me till I disappear. Don't know my destination. Just know I've got to go. Life requires exploration. Gonna walk right out the door. I'm going to Thailand. I'm moving to Spain. Gonna find that no-name highway. Gonna let it hold me till I disappear.
sneak peek.
Yeah, me too.
And we're going to get you back up here at the end of the show to sing another song for
Cool.
us. So
All right,
exciting.
awesome. Cool.
Yay. Welcome. Wasn't that fabulous? Yay. My goodness, I'll drink some water to that. I recommend drinking water. Katlina, would you like to join me? We're going to have Katlina come up here. So, please.
Hi.
Aloha. Yes. Katlina of the Everyday Hero Projects, because we can be heroes.
We already are.
We already are heroes.
Yeah, we already are.
So, how did you start? Tell us, how did you start this Everyday Hero Project? And then we'll find out what it is, but how did we get started on
Sure,
this?
I actually did start a bunch of 7th graders in the islands of Hawaii. We started it together. So I used to be a 7th grade teacher, and that was their quarter 2, was the Everyday Hero Projects. I created this template to show students how to make English education functional for them. So they got into groups according to issues that they wanted to see changing, and they created these Everyday Hero Projects. And then the universities and the businesses in the area sponsored these projects, and they changed the face of the city. So it was pretty incredible. And then
And what year was this?
that was in 2006.
2006.
2006. But the sponsorship started happening in 2009, and this one kid during class one day looked at us adults and said, "So what are you guys doing? What's your Everyday Hero Project?" And we were like, "This." And they're like, "No, this is like your job. Like, what's your Everyday Hero Project?" And it really took us all aback. And we had a moment where we said, yeah, you're right. You know, if a bunch of 11-year-olds can completely change the face of the cities, we should be doing the same thing. So it went to Greater Honolulu, and then it ended up spreading all over the islands. I was actually helping the kids learn how to take their poetry assignment and turn it into marketing for their campaign. So I used myself as I created a song, and then I got caught on at an open mic because one of my friends dared me to sing it. I got caught on television, and that is actually what propelled Everyday Hero Project to travel.
Are you going to sing it for us?
The whole song I can sing maybe.
Sing a little bit of it
Okay,
for us. This is what got caught on TV. Let's hear it. We want to hear a little bit of it.
These are my contemplations about heroes who raised the world up from the bottom, ground zero. Looking out the window, they see opportunity to elevate our species, delving inside of ourselves to find how to philanthropically use our shine. And why do we be the way we be? We're dreaming of utopian reality. Heroes are everyday people who've made a choice to use their minds, to use their talents, their actions, and their voice. Stand up for the world. You're already a hero, darling, so let your destiny unfurl.
So what sorts of projects are you working on now?
Okay, so I encourage everybody to go to everydayheroproject.org and check out our different initiatives. But really, the Everyday Hero Project is fueled by all of you. So the idea behind it is that, you know, most people, we have great ideas about how to change the world, and then you run into these terrible roadblocks. What's your EIN number? You know, do I get a tax write-off? And all of this stuff that ends up just kind of getting in the way of that. So what we do is, you know, residents come to us, they present their projects to us, and the board votes on it, and then we throw everything we have behind your project. You know, it just takes a few people believing in you, and we're all different spokes of the wheel. So, like, no one is meant to, you know, create a business or change the world by themselves.
That's right.
You know, so when you've got a team that believes in you, that's really, and I have seen just an incredible, I've been witness to so many people just really being the change that they want to see. So.
And is there a particular time of year people have to submit these projects? I'm sure
Nope.
they can go to the website and check it out, but at any time.
Anytime. So, but I am going to talk a little bit about maybe 2 of them.
Okay.
One that is very near and dear to my heart, that's the origin of the whole thing, is our intergenerational programming.
Intergenerational programming. Who's all for that? Me.
It's really just kind of going back to what used to be before all these institutional walls were created between the generations, which, you know, is a tragedy to our society. And it's just about bringing those groups together. So, for example, in a nutshell, we bring together, you know, the very young children. We also like to really bring together that university, high school age. These kids are on fire. They want to change the world, right? And usually we come out of that phase and like we're met with the real world and people are discouraged and then that's it. But if we can be that bridge for them that says, hey, we believe in you, like there's this whole group of people that want to support your dreams. And then of course our elders who are so undervalued in so many ways. And, you know, it's about helping each other come alive in these generations. So they have a lot to share, we have a lot to share, and when that all gets together. So we do things ranging from interactive literacy. We've got, for example, we had a group from the University of Chicago recently come to our city and do an alternative spring break. So instead of the normal, like, woohoo, they wanted to come to change the world. So they worked with our seniors at the Sunshine Center. They actually filmed a music video to Walking on Sunshine, all of our city, jumping out of, you know, different places and kind of doing flash mob dancing. They worked with our preschoolers. They worked with our Edible Peace Patch group that works with gardens and kids, and they worked with our time bank. And, you know, we were just really planting the seed in these kids' heads that, you know, there's a different way that can be, and it's not only about doing things, you know, helping, but we're in charge of being at the front of progressive movements. If we want things to transform, then we have to be part of that transformative, like, collective. So yeah, we like to bring all of the people together. So if you know, are interested, anybody is interested in working with these groups of people, we're connected to a lot of people in Florida and around the world that we can definitely help bridge that for you.
I used to go down, in fact, I'm going to go to Thursday. The Sunshine Senior Center has an open mic, and
cool.
I go down there and sing a song when they have it. I think they're about to redo the theater in there, so they're going to post this Thursday will be the last open mic at the Senior Center. But there's a fine gentleman that calls me up to remind me. They're very, very precise. He calls me twice. One's about 3 weeks ahead of time, and one's about a week ahead of time.
Wow.
So, will you come down and play? And I always have a good time doing it. Okay, so we got seniors. What else do we care about? Oh, no, we care about lots of things.
We care about everything.
We care about everything.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah, we care. We care.
I mean, if you look on our website, we're partnered with Greenpeace. We do peaceful awareness campaigns. We do St. Pete's superhero cleanups. We do all kinds of. You can volunteer with us, ranging from an hour of your time to something fun like a cleanup and dressing up like a superhero, to like a long-term project. I mean, Trina is part of a long-term project that's going until summer of 2020. So.
Okay, what else? What's another exciting project other than that? You said you want to talk about a couple, so.
Oh, sure. Well, this is exciting, but also tragic.
Oh.
It's exciting because I think with all of the tragedies that we're seeing around the world, the other thing that we're seeing is the rise of heroes, real everyday heroes, really. So we, in 2017, got involved in disaster relief. That was a totally new thing for Everyday Hero Project. You know, we're pretty low-key in that sense. And in 2017, a resident approached me about assisting Hurricane Harvey victims in Texas. And so it was Operation Float. And we actually said, sure. We got a sponsorship with P-Tech, and they pledged 2 semis so that we could bring all of this stuff over to Harvey. And so we set up that crew, and then boom, Irma started coming our way. So it was crazy. It was like we were collecting for this, and because we were collecting for that, we actually were ahead of the game when Irma started coming, and we realized that we were not prepared as a city. So we really jumped on it. We ended up getting 2 registered shelters, one in Tarpon Springs and one in Largo. So we knew where people could go. We also started collecting at donation stations all over the city so that we could help redistribute. And then we still did send a crew to Harvey. We had sent a cleanup crew. By that time that we were ready to send them, it was time for like mold removal, and the stage 1 was like over. So we sent them there, and then we started doing hurricane relief all over the state. And I will tell you, it is such devastation still. We went all the way from Everglades City, Chokoloskee, Miami. We did tours all the way up Naples. We did tours in, this is always really hard for me to talk about, some of the farm communities like Immokalee, where the people weren't receiving help because they were afraid of deportation. So I think the one that Trina was a part of, we had originally planned it to be a much grander event at a park, and we got there and realized that this was the situation. So we ended up popping a U-Haul into someone's driveway, opening it up, distributing as fast as we could, and then just leaving. Because they, you know, it's like, it's about the people at that point. So if they're not comfortable, then you're not helping, you know.
Right.
So, and then we ended up, through the years, continuing to go on. We ended up doing Puerto Rico. So we're actually have moved from hurricane relief in Puerto Rico now to like long-term sustainability programs. We've done 5 trips to Puerto Rico over the past year and a half or so to provide, I mean, I went in March recently, and believe it or not, one of the towns that we helped had just gotten power a week and a half before that. So we're talking about like almost 2 years past the hurricane. They really came together as communities and supported each other, which is how they could even manage to go that long without power. And it was like, they really taught us some things. You know, I was over there visiting a school that had its own farm, and they were selling to, you know, the whole town to create funding for their own programs. And it's like, wow, we have a lot to learn from people, you know. So, and yeah, and we're going to be doing a trip in summer of 2020, again to Puerto Rico. This is a long-term project. So our resident heroes who are excited are actually doing fundraising campaigns and doing ear seeds and art therapy and Reiki and bringing skateboarding products to both St. Pete and to Puerto Rico in 2020. So that's the one thing that we're really passionate about. You know, there's a lot of companies and people who are going out to all these other countries to help, and like, we need just as much help here, right? So it's kind of both it's an American way of helping. We're going to help people here, and that help that we're doing here is going to benefit people over there as well. So we're just continuing, because and then the other thing is, you know, we're not very far away from hurricane season hitting again. And I know that people don't want to hear that. 2017 was insane. We did weekend trips every single weekend with new sets of volunteers, brand new filled up U-Hauls. 2018 was hard. Everyday Hero Project ended up going to the Panhandle 2 or 3 times. We did a Christmas donation drop off, and it's still devastation over there, you guys. If you don't know about what's happening in the Panhandle, it's just as bad as Puerto Rico, in some cases even worse. So we still need you to, you know, be aware that all of these natural disasters that are happening, like, they need to resensitize us every time they happen, instead of I feel like what's happening is people are getting desensitized.
Right. Oh, another hurricane. Another people. Oh my goodness. So, do you trust people?
Absolutely. You know what? Deb, I was really feeling your story. Because, you know, when I traveled, it was a 2-suitcase life with a guitar, a ukulele, and my flute for 4 years with no address and one-way tickets. And that was really the only way, is that trusting that you're doing the right thing and that the rest of the universe is going to prospire to help you.
Conspire.
Prospire.
Prospire.
So con is like bad, right?
Conspire, I think, is the word, but is there such a word as prospire? We're gonna look it up.
Do you know what it means?
Look it up.
If you
Not
understand
perspire.
it, it's a word.
Not perspire. That's something different.
Yeah, not
Okay,
perspire.
We'll learn about that. Well, Catalina, I am so glad that you decided to do this and help
you.
other people, because that's what I've found, that there's all sorts of people in our community that lead projects. I got to go with a bunch of people from Gulfport to clean up a cemetery. And I just showed up, and there were all these people there, and I did my little teeny part, but somebody had organized it, sent out all the messages, gotten some trucks, had extra lawnmowers for people to use, and I just got to walk in there, and, you know, I ended up picking trash because I can reach the ground. People are like, why are you always picking up trash? And I'm like, because I can. You know, I can reach the ground 100 times in a day. And then when I left, I didn't come at the beginning, and I didn't stay till the very end, but I felt so good about myself. I walked out of there all chuffed, you know?
Yeah.
And the next day when I saw Wolfgang, who had organized it all, I was like, thank you so much for giving people an opportunity to serve. And I think that's a wonderful thing too, because there's so many people that want to serve, and they need somebody like you to give them a platform. So thank you for coming and sharing. And anybody who wants to know more about the Everyday Hero Project, everybody look it up, everydayheroproject.org, or just be a hero, do something heroic in your neighborhood. Pick up some garbage, that's heroic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Wow.
I tell ya, it is true. I think most people are delightful and really want to help other people. It's like, don't you feel good when you get to, like, somebody's walking up to the door and they've got their arms full, and you get to run up and pull the door open, you know, and they go, oh, thank you, and you could go walk away feeling all like you're somebody important. I'm a firm believer that helping people shouldn't have to be like, you shouldn't have to give up everything to go help somebody. You know, you can help somebody without giving up a single thing. Just keep your eyes open. Yeah. I'm going to sing this little song here. It's called What Are You Giving Up? What are you giving up for Jesus? What are you giving up for love? What you giving up for Allah? Throw it to the devil below. Yes, throw it to the devil below. Once I had a great big sin, weighing me down and keeping me thin. Then I remembered reading someplace, if you're willing, you're forgiven. So what you giving up for Jesus? What are you giving up for love? I'm going to give up that sin. What you giving up for Allah? Throw it to the devil below. Yes, throw it to the devil below. So you say you have a load, take it off and heave it to the devil below. 'Cause what makes you think you should carry guilt? What makes you think you're supposed to? What you giving up for Jesus? What are you giving up for love? What you giving up for Allah? I'm throwing away all my guilt. I'm gonna throw it to the devil below. Yes, I'll throw it to the devil below. And don't be a worrier, it's alright. Go ahead and expect the best. 'Cause I see love when I look inside. Yes, we're all on the same side. So what you giving up for Jesus? What are you giving up for love? What you giving up for Allah? I'm gonna give up some worry. And throw it to the devil below. Yes, throw it to the devil below. I figure one of the best things about the devil is that he's good at catching. He can catch all my worries and troubles and sin, just throw it all down there and walk away. I don't know if he's any good at catching, really. They say he's good at catching souls, so he should be able to catch some worry and some guilt. Does anybody have some good news they'd like to share with us in the audience? We need to have some good. Oh, okay. Don, share some good news.
Oh,
No, you don't have any good news
No, I
to
was
share.
just thinking.
Okay, well that's good news. Don is thinking. Yay! Somebody else give us some good news. Let's
My
have some
youngest
good
daughter's
news.
getting married in October.
Who?
My youngest daughter.
Ah, congratulations. Got good news. Anybody else?
Sure.
Okay.
It's Earth Day.
It's Earth Day and Easter on the same
And Easter.
day.
Yeah, and Earth Days, well, I don't know. Yeah, talk about Easter instead.
Well,
Well, we can. I don't know. It's politically low.
I don't know. It's also in Passover
I know.
happening at St.
Yeah, and it's all
And
kinds of stuff,
Passover.
and it's the springtime,
And it's
it's
spring.
regeneration of life. I mean, you got a picture of an Easter egg. Well, eggs, that's life, hatching, and rabbits. It's kind of makes the world go round.
That's life hatching. All right, we're in. So it's like Earth Day, Passover, Easter, and yesterday was 420. So people should be having.
A blast.
Yeah.
Please feel free to celebrate in any way you think possible. Okay, Miss P, would you like to join me on the stage? I would love it if you would come up and join me on the stage. Hi, Miss P. Now, I have the pleasure of being Miss P's neighbor. I'm a neighbor. We're neighbors.
We're neighbors.
I recommend getting to know your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to know each other? Do you remember?
When?
A hurricane.
That's a fact.
That is a fact because there was hurricane and everything was down and you were sitting out in your front yard.
And Duke was there, and
And
y'all,
that's right. I wandered by and we chitty-chatted and played some music.
played some
and
music, had a jam. I think we even got coffee too, didn't we?
I thought we might have. I don't know. I had the coffee grinder or something. Anyway, somehow.
Duke had it in his.
Oh, in the van. He had
He
his
was-
VW van.
yeah.
That was it. Anyway, so hurricanes can bring people together,
Yes.
as Katlina knows. All sorts of people. Now, you are interested in feng shui, among other things. She's interested in many things, but what we're going to talk about at this moment.
I'm an energy freak. Anything that promotes energy, I'm there, including science. I mean, anything. For me, feng shui, I learned it when I was a kid, basically. I was raised in a very spiritual family, not necessarily religious, but spiritual. I have Native American background. My mom was very heavy into the nature and kind of the pagan aspect of philosophies. And then I had uncles who were in the Vietnam War, and they ended up marrying a couple women from Korea. And they interested me in the Eastern side of stuff. And so as a kid, I kind of got it all. I was into Wiccan and pagan and the Native American shamanism and stuff. But the one key thing I found about them all was they all had amazing energy behind them. It was all just so energized. When I finally got into feng shui, it was through the yin and yang. That's what really brought me to it. I liked always the fact of the light and the dark. I liked
Yeah, the yin and yang, that just for people that don't know, is sort of like the opposites, right?
Yeah,
Light and dark.
it's dualities, and basically it goes deeper than that. It's making letting the dualities flow in their natural way that they do without us naturally standing in there and trying to change it or impede it or make it flow the way we need it to flow. It's truly it's forgetting that you are the superior species and getting into the flow of the cosmic. The cosmic breath in my world is the total control, if you will. So I got into that, and then I got into I Ching, and I got into some Chinese astrology big time. The I Ching hit
Do people
home.
think you're flighty?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Oh my gosh, she just keeps changing.
And they do, but once they get to know me, they understand that the key thing that I do is energy work, whether it's meditation. And I'm so happy we were talking about trust with the human species and everything like that. Ever since I was a kid, I never trusted anything, but the humanity aspect, I can always trust. I have complete faith in humanity. I just do. I think we all are born with amazing energies, and they all get distracted. But we all have amazing energy in us. And so, basically, feng shui reminded me that most of us are so awakened, and we're getting awakened into the meditation, into the Reiki, into the holistic healing, taking care of your body, eating right, all that. But feng shui is the other side of it. What about our environments? What about the home you live in? What about the doctor's office you go to? What about the grocery store you step in? What about traffic and sitting in your car? What's the environment in your car? All this is energy related. And
Can you trick out feng shui your car?
heck yeah.
How do you what is I never even considered. I mean, I've heard of
Well,
building.
when you sit in your car, now feng shui has so many cool components to it. First of all, feng shui, I'm just going to interpret that for you. Feng means wind, shui means water. Okay? Feng shui has to do with all the elements, all 5 elements. We have earth, we have fire, we have metal, we have wind, and we have water. Those are the 5 elements. It also deals with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west. Feng shui has been around since, I don't know, something like 2050 AD, or BC. And it went through several dynasties, and it's still huge. You would not believe how many of the Asian parts of the world, they use feng shui to place their hospitals, their schools, their palaces, their army campgrounds. So it's huge. We as Westerners, we don't really take that into account. When we build a building, it's usually about how fast, how cheap, and where can we get the best tax breaks. Some of the schools in this country, they are literally built on landfills. Imagine the energy in that building, and you're putting children to learn in that building. And people wonder why there are kids who fall through cracks, or there are schools that don't do. It's not the teachers. Part of it's the system, yes, but it's also the building and the energy in which you're trying to teach these people. So, and we all do a pretty good job of our home. We all try to build it up. We want the room pink or aesthetically pleasing. We want grandma's portrait in the deal. All those things are wonderful, but again, you're talking about placement. And feng shui to me is balance. There's something in feng shui called qi, and that's the optimum of what you want, which means life force. It's the cosmic breath of the world. So to be in tune with that, it's making sure, metaphorically speaking, that wind and water, which we'll use wind as your breath, and we'll use water as the flow, your journey in life, the luck you have, the life you lead, all that kind of stuff. So feng shui basically, metaphorically, wants to make it so that these two happen in synchronicity at all times that you're not even aware of. How many of you shop at Publix or have been into Publix? What's your general vibe of that? Everybody get a pretty cool vibe off of it? Yeah. Well, believe it or not, they use feng shui. Now, here's the difference. Now, when I say they use feng shui, if you'll do this next time, do the circle. Don't go in between all the deals. Just do the circle and see the energy you feel. The reason that they put the aisles in between there, it's feng shui for them, but it gives them the opportunity. They've built it for luck and abundance on their side. But if you look at it from your perspective of the individual going through, doing a circle is much more free-flowing. I shop only circle. I go in, I do the produce, I do the milk and the dairy, I go buy the meats if I need to, the fish, and then I come back around. I don't go through the cereal line or anything like that unless I have to. But if you think about it, think of the energy that's flowing through there. Energy flows so much better in circles.
Does it matter if it goes clockwise or counterclockwise?
Nope,
No?
doesn't matter at all. But once you get into the grocery store and you start darting in between those lines, you're breaking that energy up. Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. It's not bad energy, but it is what we call Shui Qi energy, which is broken energy. And if there's a broken energy, then it causes people to be anxious. That's why you get anxious standing in line, because it's not going quick enough. Because you've already darted and been, someone almost hit you with a cart or whatever. Even as pleasant as it is. Another thing, think of your hospitals. Okay? If any of you have ever been out of the country, if you've been anywhere in the European side, the energy there was way different than here in America. Simply because our European friends and our Eastern friends, they have kind of sort of already incorporated the feng shui deal. And so for me, again, it's fun.
How do I feng shui my car? Get back to that. Feng Shui my
Okay,
car.
when you get in your car,
Yeah.
the first thing you want to do is figure out which way you're facing. Your car has a north, south, east, west direction just like everything else because it's a contained unit.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you're standing at the door of your car and you're looking at your car, when you look at the passenger side, that would be your north, that would be your south. Where you're sitting is the north, okay? Where you're looking out your windshield is the east, and your rear thing is the west, okay? So those are your directions that you're dealing with. Now, here's a couple things you want to do. The east is always about, think about in the morning when you rise. It's that first burst of energy. Everybody's rushing and pushing to get to work. You're in traffic and everything. So, you know your little rear view mirror? You just need to hang a little white crystal right there.
Little white crystal in the rearview mirror.
Well, a little white crystal right there. It can be a prism. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. What that does is all that massive energy that's surging through the traffic and the people and even the sun. Have you ever driven in the eastern sun in the morning? It's vicious. So what that does, the prism encapsulates it, so to speak, because it is a clear crystal. It takes it and it slows it down. It breaks that energy because it has to pass through temporarily through that crystal to get to you. On your chair, if you're into covers, if you're not, that's fine. Put a towel or something. Put dark blue. Put a black. Put a beautiful green blue if you want. The north is really about, if you think about north, it usually depicts winter, cold winds, stuff like that. It's a slower energy. So if you put the blue or the black there, again, you're a much calmer state when you're behind the wheel now because you've slowed down even more.
Now, this is amazing to me. I mean, anybody believe that you can change the energy in your car by putting a crystal on your, couple people, some people, oh, yeah, why not? Okay, that crystal and something dark behind you. Okay, what do you got?
And then if you're dealing with the south end, which is the passenger side, which if you think about it, when a passenger gets in there, things kind of get, if you think of the south, what does the south represent? Heat, too. You know, you think of fire, you think the further south you go, the more bright it's going to get. So a lot of it's just common sense. Think of the energy that just the directions provide. So when you put someone in the car, it changes the energy, right? Now you have a double dynamic. You have two people in the car with their energies. You have the energy that's roaming around you with all the people. So let's just say the fire gets a little higher in the car. It gets a little warmer. So what you want to do on that side is put something gold. What I do is, you know those little air conditioner smell good thingies? In my vent on the passenger side, I have a little gold. I don't know who makes it, renews it, or whoever makes it. But it sits right there. And it's something like Hawaiian Tropic Breeze or something. Very calming, very gold, very stabilizing. Now the back end, it's a little bit harder with the west because you have the rear view mirror and you really need all that rear view mirror. So it's not like you can put a big, you know, icon in the middle. The west basically is the creative side. It's the child side. It's the, I want to be anywhere but here side. So in your back seat, what I have done is if you like to travel, if you like to take day trips, if you like to be spontaneous, the back of your car, put a map down there of somewhere you want to go, or they make towels. Have you ever seen the towels that they do when you, for like tourist people, they give you a tour of Florida, the little
Town
towel.
that has all the...
Yeah, put those in there. First thing, they do really help the heat that penetrates in your car. So you're kind of protecting it. But it's also giving you the energy of, I'm open to more than just driving to and from work and being a day-to-day slave. Because that's really what our cars have become. Our cars have become not places where we can be peaceful and calm and blissful and happy and appreciative that we have the vehicle. They have become, oh my God, I got to get in my car, I got to be to work in 20 minutes. That kind of energy is subjective to what goes around you. If people would contemplate energizing their cars, and even that, you would be amazed at how, I'm amazed at how it just simply changes everything.
Okay, so everybody in the audience and online, I want some people to energetically switch up their cars and report back.
Yeah, report them and
Thank
show
you.
us what you did.
Thank you so much. And people can get in touch with you, and you will help them
I
in
will
a
help.
myriad of ways.
I will help them. I do consulting. I do everything from when you buy your house to build your house to when you have your house and you want to put your house together. I do everything if you want to learn feng shui for the body, how to implement it all the way around. You can reach me at Facebook, and I will have a website shortly.
Yay.
I have a beautiful friend in Australia who's building me one.
Yay,
Thank you,
people!
guys.
Yay! Thank you so much for
you.
coming by and chatting a little bit about that.
Thank you.
Yay, welcome, welcome. So exciting to learn all these different things. Okay, so we remember what to do with our cars. You can always go back and listen, but I want to know if it helps, if it changes the world. We're going to get Deb to come back up here for a minute. We are coming into Deb. How about you? Did you ever do any feng shui?
No, I never really played around with that, but I'm totally digging it. Like,
The
I
idea-
believe that. Yeah.
Concept of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I need to. Maybe we need to get some feng shui advice here.
Yeah, right.
That's yay.
For sure.
I'd like to take a minute to give everybody that's here a little present. Not everybody that's here, but Deb, do you have a CD player?
I don't.
Well, then you can't have one. How about you, Miss P? Do you have a CD player?
I do.
I would like to give you this. And Katlina, do you have a CD player? Giving gifts. That's what we do.
Yay, thank you.
All right.
Oh man, I'm
Now,
missing out.
well, that's all right. You can have one to give to somebody else.
Yeah, or
How about
I
that?
can get, yeah, I have to get an extension because this is coming
Yes.
up way too many times.
Yes, well, that's all right. You can pass it on to someone else. So now
Yeah,
you have a gift to
totally.
give.
Yeah.
It's the giving of the gift.
Oh, I want to
Okay.
listen to it.
Would you give us another song?
I will.
Okay.
yeah.
What kind of song are we gonna get?
Well, since we're talking about like trusting people, and that seems to be one of the themes from today's beautiful show.
Yes.
I'm gonna sing you a song called "Swimmers," which I wrote when I was realizing how.
I'm gonna get off the stage and let you go ahead and
sure. I'll slide over here. I wrote this song when I realized, how connected we really all are, and whether you want to admit it or not, or recognize it, but we are. So, yeah, that's what I was feeling when I wrote this song. I know you're lonely when it's just you and me. That worn-out story of yours, you can always tell it to me. How bright is your face? Color, it bleeds through the day. So let's not waste a moment wishing the tides away. Baby, we're swimmers in a deep dark sea. Float around, float around, float around this abyss with me. And all those songs you wrote, oh, did you write them for me? 'Cause you said words don't mean nothing, but I can feel what you mean. How bright is your face? Color, it bleeds through the day. So let's not waste a moment wishing the tides away, baby, with swimmers in a deep dark sea. Float around, oh, this with me. Float around, oh, this with me. Float around, float around, oh, this with me.
Hey! Well, Deb, I want to let you know that there's a woman sitting in the back that heard that song at 6 o'clock this morning, and that's what brought her here.
Oh, were you playing it or something?
Where did you hear it, ma'am? Marcy, I think it is.
Facebook.
Oh,
Then I
cool.
went on your website.
Nice, thank
And
you.
you heard that song, and
And
that
that's
was a reason she
Oh,
came.
that's so
It
cool.
was swimming stuff.
Swimmers,
And a
yeah.
diver, so it works for.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it can mean many different things, right?
Yeah.
Wow, see, there it is. Okay.
Cool.
The show is almost over. I'm going to play in A. Are you ready? You want to play along?
Sure, yeah.
It's, A, D, E, A. Just run around.
Okay.
If anybody wants to come and help me sing, they can. Back to A. I don't jump freight trains when they roll by. Don't like the blues, I'll tell you why. I go downtown when I want to smoke, and I'm treating life like a joke. But I won't go sitting in my neighbor's yard, 'cause he's been working mighty hard. I go downtown, but I don't wear shoes, and you know I do not sing the blues. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Everybody sing. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. I won't get cross if you smile at me, and I'll throw my troubles out to sea. I don't wear black or need a heart attack, 'cause we can be happy. How about that? Don't think much about what could go wrong, and I don't want to sing about it in a song, but I'll look at you and shake my head, 'cause Lord knows some people they'd be better off dead. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Don't see Saturn when I look at the stars, but I know it's out there, and so's Mars. I don't think much about the evening news, and Lord knows we are not going to sing the blues.
No, no, no.
I don't like ham, but I do like toast, and I certainly don't care who you hate the most. I don't care how it's always been done. You could give him but still have some. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel shine through. Be the light, folks. This is the time. Thank you so much for having been here at the Laura Shepherd Show. Please look us up on Patreon and send a little contribution our way. Yay!